Good morning, everybody. I'm Jessica with Your Better Business Bureau, and I have the pleasure of introducing you to another BBB accredited business who is a 2023 Torch Award for Business Ethics finalist this year. I have Paul Leahey, who is the owner of Inspire Benefits located in Bloomington, Illinois. How are you doing this morning, Paul?
I'm doing wonderful. Good morning, Jessica.
Great to have you. Now, you have a great story here, and I'm really excited to talk about your company. I understand you have been in this business since 1991, and then Inspire was created in 96. Tell us the story of how you got into the business and why and how you started Inspire.
So I got into the business. I never thought I'd be in this business, but I got in because of the quality of the carrier that I partnered with. They were great products, great people, and their system was that if you help build a portion of their business, then you could own that. And so for the
Cool.
first about 4.5 years, I helped them build, and then I started my own agency because of that.
What was it about owning your own business that you were drawn to that idea of, sleepless nights and that kind of stress?
Yeah, I think when you're young and you don't really know too much, you just go in headlong. And I thought that I wanted to be in business for myself, and I remember thinking when I was about a year into the business that, boy, I could have used a few more years of mentorship before I had jumped into this business. But it was really about impacting. We have a product that impacts the communities and the customers that we serve, and so it was really about where could I get the most impact as I built a business that made a difference.
So, I mean, the name kind of gives it away, Inspire Benefits, but what exactly does your company offer?
So we're a very niche insurance agency. We only work in the supplemental benefits, and most people immediately think of Medicare sup, and we don't have anything to do with that. What we do is we take care of people during some of their most financially difficult times when individuals have cancer or a heart attack or a car accident, something that's going to take them out of work or eat up a lot of savings. We're the company that steps in and helps them financially get through that period of time. Because if you're seriously sick or seriously injured, you're spending money
Right.
at a rapid rate. So our company provides benefits that help people take care of themselves financially. And then if they don't use our benefits, then we give them all their money back in the form of a refund.
That's incredible. You don't hear about that happening ever. It's, especially in the insurance world, it's part of the risk. You're just paying for that peace of mind, but you guys offer to give it back.
That's correct. And
Wow.
yeah, so we're fortunate. We deliver about $500,000 a month of return of premium checks, along with all of the claims checks that we also do on top of that. And I was brought up with a mentor that always talked about win-win, and the product's a win-win situation. And so that's something I can get behind, a win-win where both parties, it's a positive outcome for them.
Very good. So,
Mhm.
a big part of your industry is, sales of, having that conversation with people and obviously getting them to buy in. With your win-win situation, I imagine that conversation is really easy, but can you talk about how transparency is at the forefront of those conversations for your company?
Well, it's interesting because if you think about the way our product's written, you would believe that, well, this is kind of a no-brainer, and it is, but it's a challenge to work with people because people have been told all their life, as long as you have health insurance, you're covered. They don't realize of all the expense that they have to deal with at home, or if they're a business owner, all the expense that they have to deal with at their business when they're not available because of an illness or an injury. So it is much more challenging. And the ethics comes in because we know that people who are confused never buy, and people who are under pressure don't buy. And so the biggest thing that we do is we stress, make sure that you keep it simple and that you take pressure off of people. In our presentation, we go out of our way to say, if you like it and it's right for you, we can see if you qualify. And if you don't, then just say no. We're okay with a no. because we really only want to work with people who truly understand what our product is, because those would be the people who most appreciate what the product will do for them in their time
Right.
of need.
Yeah, and I'm sure that carries through word of mouth, if they're believers in it, then they're going to tell somebody else about it, and that
Yes.
builds business too.
Yes, it isn't hard to get reviews, BBB reviews when our clients have used our products. That's for sure.
And you guys have tons of reviews, tons of positive reviews and feedback from your clients. And when you're talking about Inspire in your application, you talk about being vision bound. Can you tell us what you mean by vision bound?
So we have four core values. The first is people-centric. The second is being vision-bound. And most people would immediately jump to being bound to the vision of our company, which that is a part of it. But being vision-bound to us is our people having a vision or a personal vision for themselves. Because our mission statement is to impacting generations by brokering change for our people. And the only way we can broker change is if they have a vision of where they want to go. So we've decided not to have quotas in our company. Individuals have to have a vision, and then it's our job to help them get to that vision. We understand that as long as they're marching toward that vision, they're probably helping our company build and grow. And if we get enough people to their vision, then the company automatically gets to its vision. And we're fortunate, not every industry has that ability, but we do have it. And so we feel the need to take advantage of it, because then again, it's a win-win. If our people are growing and reaching their goals and dreams, and we're growing and reaching the business's goals and dreams, everybody wins.
How do you decide if that person has set the bar high enough or if it's too low? Like, if you see potential in them beyond what they see, how do you get them to, expand their vision?
It really comes down to success. So when an individual comes in and we see them way up here and they see themselves a little bit lower, it tells us that they're lacking some personal confidence. And so by empowering people, which is our fourth core value, by empowering people, it helps them to begin to realize what they're really truly capable of. And not everybody can come out of the box understanding that. So small victories add up to larger victories and ultimately add up to a lot more confidence. So for some people, we have to take the time to be patient that, yep, that's not a really big goal and you should be able to accomplish it quickly. But that's another thing that helps, is when somebody says, here's my goal. And of course, we always ask, when do you want to accomplish that by? And if we can do that in half the time or a quarter of the time, that's going to develop a lot of confidence for them. And again, everybody's winning.
Sure, and you're building trust with the employee that okay, this person does care about my success. They do care about, my vision, and probably start to trust you a little bit more, and maybe reaching a little farther next time.
That's exactly right. Now, when we talk to them about moving their vision forward, now we can talk to them about stretching it a little bit more by being able to point out what their true strengths are that maybe they didn't even realize. But it's always exciting when people begin to realize some strengths that they didn't they didn't know they had, or maybe they just didn't want to admit that they really had that strength. Now they have it in their arsenal and they can use that to move towards their vision.
Tell me more about how you, as a leader, are people-centric.
So I can share with you that I probably wasn't always people-centric. In fact, I'm sure I wasn't. But again, with good mentors around me and good people, one of the biggest things I think is to listen to people, to hear them, and as an individual that likes to get things fixed, my listening skills weren't exactly the best in the past. I just wanted to hear the problem and get it fixed. But many times you can solve a deeper, more important problem if you just listen. And so giving people an opportunity to speak with the confidence. So the biggest thing that I've really focused on over the last several years is creating an atmosphere that people feel confident to be able to say what's truly on their mind. And I'm certainly not an expert at it, but I think that the company has experienced a lot of change from the top down. Because obviously, if the leadership is listening, then they're hearing what's going right and what needs to be improved, and everybody's benefiting from that. So my whole thing is just to try and listen, and then of course empower people to be able to make decisions because I certainly was one of those managers where I wanted to make every critical decision, but you suppress an enormous amount of talent when you're making all the decisions. Help other people make decisions and watch their talent really grow. And then you've got a much more powerful company, which is we're a much stronger company today than we were, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago.
Wow, that's incredible. What do you think it's like from your employees' perspective, having that vision-bound, people-centric leadership that you're offering? What is it like to work for you?
Well, I would say that most of my employees don't really feel like they work for me because they're empowered to do what they need to get done. I think, I'm fortunate that, I'd love to say that our culture is because of what I've brought to the company, but our culture is because of the people that are in our company, and we believe in each other. And so, I'll share this. One of the reasons why we changed the way our company was built is because a lot of insurance agencies like mine, once the owner, leaves or dies or whatever, the agency generally will collapse in about 3 to 5 years. And I didn't want that for my people. If something happened to me, I wanted the agency to be able to continue on without me. It is set up so that they are responsible for everything that happens. My job is to provide vision. It's really not to provide day-to-day leadership because they're empowered to do that themselves. So how's it to work with me? I would say that most people would probably say, I don't really work for Paul. And that's probably a good thing.
That's really interesting. I mean, was there a time in the beginning where, you said you weren't always like that. I imagine that would be a little scary to let go. You said you wanted to be that manager where you were making all the decisions and everything was kind of filtered through you. And now you're describing a completely opposite situation. How did you get to that point?
You've been around people who own their own business. They spin a lot of plates, and
Yeah.
it's a real balancing act. And
Yeah.
there's only so long that you can spin plates before you realize that you spinning all the plates is not really helping the company grow. Even though the company's growing every year, it can be growing a lot faster if you empower other people to make decisions. And so it was a combination of not wanting to let my people down if something happened to me, or if I left the business and I didn't want their careers to fall apart, and also realizing that I can't spin all the plates, and I've got a lot of talent around me, and I really want that talent to be able to rise to the occasion. And so I probably learned it the hard way, but fortunately I have great people around me that were patient, and together we decided to build a different type of company, and it's really been a lot of fun. This transition was right before COVID and right through COVID, and it's really we're a completely different company today than we were even before COVID.
Very cool. That
Mhm.
sounds incredible. Um, I want to talk a little bit about your passion for the community and how your company supports giving back, maybe particularly in Central Illinois. I know you've expanded outside of Illinois. You're now in 10 states, I understand. But let's focus on Central Illinois. What does your company do for the community?
Well, again, I have to blame my mentors. I was introduced to doing community service when the original company that started was still about $14 million in debt. And the president of the company was saying, hey, we got to get out and support the community. And I'm thinking to myself, no, we need to build a business is what we need to
We
do.
do
But
not have time for that.
yeah, we don't have any money to support a community. But
Yeah.
St. Jude is a natural partner for what we do because cancer is the most expensive disease on earth, and families deal with enormous amounts of problems financially when they go through a disease like cancer. Fortunately, St. Jude does an incredible job, and so it's about supporting that entity that helps children and families. And so
Yeah.
since about 1992, we've been supporting St. Jude on a national level, but locally we've been supporting St. Jude basically since we moved in 1996. We started with the St. Jude golf outing, and we're pretty heavily involved in that. And then some of our agents got involved in the St. Jude run, and then from there it moved into the St. Jude Radiothon, which was really exciting to be one of the founding title sponsors for that. They do a remarkable job raising money for St. Jude. And then a couple of years ago, we started the St. Jude Kentucky Derby party, and that was a lot of fun. We just need to be able to give back to our communities, because our communities spend 25, 30, 35, 40 years supporting us with the products that we get into their hands. And so it's just about balancing out the pendulum.
In your application, you described a really great story regarding an intern. Would you tell the story?
Which intern? I'm sorry.
The intern that wanted to work in HR.
Yes, yeah. So one of the things, I went to Illinois State University. I graduated from there. That's part of the reason why we came back to Bloomington to start the business. And one of the things I wanted to do is to try and give at least one or two college students an opportunity to gain experience and make a little bit of money. One of the biggest things I was trying to do is to help college students come out of college with great communication skills, because that's a tough thing to learn through college. So we had an intern that really wanted to get into HR. She was really solid in communication, but she didn't know much about HR. My company doesn't require a lot of HR overhead. And so she maxed out our HR abilities pretty quickly. And so to support the community, but also to support her, we put her into the Boys and Girls Club, another phenomenally run organization. And I had reached out to the president and asked if we could work something out where we put her in as an intern, but my company paid for her internship. So we paid her hourly fees or hourly wage in order for her to work over at the Boys and Girls Club. And it worked out great because, again, everybody won. We were excited about making a difference in a college. A great experience, and the Boys and Girls Club got some great help that they could always use.
That's fantastic. Win-win should just be your theme, your slogan. Inspire benefits, win-win. We'll find solutions for you that helps everybody. I love that story. I think that's fantastic. And so, where is she now?
She's in HR in Chicago. She's doing an incredible job. Yeah, it's exciting to again see people reach their vision and accomplish that. And sometimes they're going to reach that vision here at our company, and sometimes we're just the springboard to help them reach a vision somewhere else. Either way, as long as people are moving forward, then everybody's winning.
Sure. So you guys have been BBB accredited for several years now. With your vision, how has BBB accreditation aligned with the values of your company?
Well, it was very important to us that we were BBB accredited. I think that the BBB accreditation has, people have a lot of confidence in it. And I believe that one of the things that's important for us is credibility. And the BBB brings that credibility to us because most people, when we describe our product, immediately say, it sounds too good to be true.
Too good to be true.
And so when you're BBB accredited and you have a place to be able to put reviews and reviews where people are talking directly about your company, directly about your service, that goes a long way. It really makes an impact. And it's also really made an impact on our ability to recruit higher quality talent. My agents are all independent contractors. That means that they're all 1099 and they are paid by commissions. And we don't make any, we're not hiding that anywhere. But when an individual is going to start with a company that's commission based, they want to make sure that that company is solid. And the BBB makes an impact on people understanding, oh, wow, this company's been around a long time and they do what they say.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. I just blanked on my last question I was going to ask you. Advice. So, I mean, you've talked about, your mentors a little bit. Tell me about those mentors and what were your big takeaways as you started your company?
Well, the number one mentor I had built a business from nothing to $2 billion. And he said, it's not about profit, it's about people. And that was my biggest takeaway from him. He built a business through people. And I tried to build a business in the beginning that was profitable, and it was very profitable, except it wasn't people centric. And so, when I wasn't building or growing at the rate that I felt that we could, he said, you've got to build a business that's about people. I've taught you that. And he was right. And so that's when I went looking for a different way to run the business. There's 100 ways you could build a business. But when it comes to working with people, I think there's really only one way. And that's to do what's right, to make sure that their priorities, that you understand what their priorities and what they want to get out of a career, and then to be able to help them get there. One of the other things that they've taught me is to embrace accountability. Accountability creates transparency, and it creates a warmth in the company when everyone from the top down is accountable. And so, everybody has their day-to-day activities. If you're not getting them done, then, I don't care who you are in the company, you should be held accountable for that. And that includes me as the agency owner. And if everyone sees that I'm willing to be held accountable, it helps them to be more accountable as well. And so it's, there's no perfect company. We certainly aren't perfect, but we strive to, of course, make sure that we're people centric first. And that's what my mentors taught me, be people centric, understand that people have their strengths and weaknesses, try to play to their strengths, shore up a weakness here or there if you can, but empower them to really utilize what they're capable of. And so I try to emulate that. I'm certainly not as good as my mentors, but I'm fortunate that I have great people around me that make up for my inadequacies. But the company, it's been fun to build the company, and I think we've had a lot of fun over these last 4 or 5 years.
Our theme for the 2023 Torch Awards is Traditions of Trust, and we decided to do Traditions of Trust because there's a unique set of ingrained values in people like you, and that is why you get nominated for a Torch Award and all of those recognitions. What do you think the legacy of Inspire Benefits is? If somebody were to talk about your company 30 years from now, what would you envision that legacy being?
Our hope is that it's our mission, and our mission is impacting generations by brokering change for our people, our customers, and our communities. And I hope that the legacy is that we've brokered change for our people, we brokered change for our customers, and we brokered change for our communities. And in that we develop that legacy of trust between all 3 of those sets. Because if we're doing our job brokering change, then we're moving towards that legacy of trust.
Very cool. Excellent. Very good. Really such a pleasure to talk about you and your company, Paul. Again, Paul Leahey of Inspire Benefits, located in Bloomington, Illinois, a longtime BBB accredited business and a 2023 Torch Award for Business Ethics finalist. Please join Paul and I at our event in December. We have one in Champaign on December 13th. And then one in Peoria on December 14th. So you can get tickets on our event page and come celebrate and network and get some wisdom from business owners like Paul. I guarantee you'll walk away smarter and feeling more confident about how you're going to run your business tomorrow. So please join us. And Paul, thank you so much again for your time today. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you. And we will see you all next time.
Thank you, Jessica.